following is a quote from the National Library of Medicine published on June 28th of 2023. Studies have shown that this can negatively affect executive functioning, sensory motor development, and academic outcomes. Recently, it has been associated with a lower cognitive abilities and academic performance in later years. You might be thinking of drug use, or maybe the controversial COVID-19 vaccine. However, the real culprit is something that most people use daily: technology. Smartphones, television, tablets, and video games have already changed so much of the world, particularly for the younger population, in their short existence. The amount of technology, or screen time, used by children has shown drastic side effects in all stages of life. Unrestricted, unmonitored, and unlimited screen time has been linked to childhood obesity, violence, and behavioral issues. Try and recall 5 TV advertisements that you've seen. How many of those advertisements contain food? How about junk food? By using bright colors, appealing characters, and deceiving facts, junk food commercials are taking advantage of young minds. These intriguing commercials that are advertised towards young children are encouraging an appetite for junk food. Many people, kids included, have a habit of snacking or sitting down with a meal while watching TV or playing a game. This may seem like an entertaining way to enjoy a meal, but this may actually lead to overeating. As we immerse ourselves in the bright colors and activity, we can begin to feel distracted from our own feelings and actions. It is likely to continue the mindless movements of eating and to ignore or fail to notice the feeling of fullness. Too much tech time has also been related to behavioral issues amongst children. By spending over 2 hours utilizing technology daily, your child has 2 hours less to be social and play with others in person. Social media apps can also lead to feelings of sadness and exclusion and promote an unrealistic image of what life is supposed to be. Children who have access, specifically unrestricted access, to these apps have a higher risk of developing anxiety and depression, as well as decreased overall self-esteem. Many people do not limit screen time for their kids, and many more ask themselves, well, why would I limit? A common thought amongst people who do not feel the need to limit screen time for their children is that kids will think that you are mean for taking away something they enjoy. The opposition I have to this statement is to replace the screens with something else that they like. If you tell your child, no more tablet time, go do something else, it could lead to feelings of anger, boredom, and will likely result in an argument with your child. However, if you tell your child to take a break from screens and invite them to do something else that they enjoy, you'll likely get a better reaction. For example, if your child really enjoys art, you can say, hey, let's take a break from video games and paint a picture together. That way, you've replaced the screen with something that they like, and you are giving your child time to socialize with you. Active and creative play will be quickly pushed to the side if your children's time on devices is not regulated. With an unlimited amount of screen time and endless stimulation, why would a child ever put down an iPad to pick up Barbies or monster trucks? Children need time to play with real physical toys and objects without constant access to technology. With a constant access, it is likely that they will not choose to take this time. Many children need an involved parent to step in and force them to put away technology and to play with their real toys. Our bodies have the amazing ability to regulate themselves. When we are hot, we begin to sweat. And when we feel full, we stop eating. With this self-regulation, however, comes a learning curve. Our bodies need to learn to detect when we've had enough of something. Many argue that when we take away our children's devices prematurely, we are taking away the chance for them to learn this ability. On the other hand, they're children. They have not learned this ability, and it is likely that with unlimited screen time, they will never learn. By limiting screen time for them, you are beginning to pave the way to self-regulation. When it becomes custom to only spend 2 hours a day playing video games, watching TikTok, or scrolling through Instagram, kids will learn to do it themselves. Naturally, their bodies will begin to tell them when they've spent enough time on screens, and they will find something else to do to entertain themselves. This leads to my next point, the argument that technology doesn't promote learning. In this day and age, there are multiple apps that encourage learning amongst kids. ABC Maths offers mathematic, reading, and scientific learning all through gameplay. Quizlet allows you to make and use flashcards, take practice tests, and play matching games. All of these apps can offer great academic practice, but none of them help children learn social skills that can be taught through physical play. By playing with other kids, children can learn problem-solving skills, communication skills, and regular social practices, amongst others. We're living in a technology society. Everything is driven by a screen, and it is virtually impossible to limit a child's screen time completely, especially at older ages. When children are allowed to be on tablets or devices, it is important to encourage quality screen time. In early ages, 2 to 5, when children are first being introduced to screens, there are things you can do as a parent to ensure that your child is being safe and productive. Preview games before allowing your child to play. This will allow you to gauge the information being represented to your child and decide if it's appropriate or not. You can also look for interactive or educational games to download for your child. While learning games are interactive and exciting, children will enjoy playing them. Many apps and websites also come with parental controls to block or filter certain content. Enabling these controls will ensure your child is only reaching appropriate content that you want them to have access to. You can also ensure that your child is viewing quality content by staying close by during screen time. If you're nearby, you have the ability to both hear and see what is happening on the device. As kids grow, it becomes more difficult to keep a strict limit on your children's device and content that they are viewing. It is important to make an effort to steer them in the right direction. Encourage unplugged, free play time. This will allow your child to make the choice to take a screen break and do something else. By inviting them to play a game, draw a picture, or help with work around the house, you're offering alternative options to playing with the screen. You can also establish tech-free times and zones. For example, every night from 5 to 6, all devices and screens are shut off and put away. Time is spent playing with other things or with family. This allows for your child to do other things that are away from devices, video games, screens, social media. You can also establish tech-free zones throughout your home, such as the kitchen or bedrooms. In these zones, no devices are allowed. By creating a window of time with absolutely zero screens and establishing places in the house where devices are not allowed, you create a healthy barrier between children and technology, a barrier they will likely carry with them through most of their life. Finally, you can set and enforce daily or weekly screen limits. Whether it's 2 hours a day or 14 hours a week, having this limit will teach your child to not only budget their time wisely, but they will also become interested in doing other things with their time. We live in a world that is run by technology and is rapidly growing. While it is impossible to cut out screens completely out of our child's lives, it is important that we monitor, limit, and teach our kids about the internet and electronic devices. By making a few changes and expanding your awareness of children's screen time, you can welcome your children into healthy habits regarding the use of technology.